Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast with me, Alex Whiteley. Today I am recording at the Shropshire Business Suite podcast rooms. It's next to Waterstones in Shrewsbury. It is a premium place to come and record podcasts. It's a really wonderful place. If you step in here, I'll put a reel up on Instagram so you can have a look what this place looks like. But it's a place I've been recording for the last 18 months, I'd say, and it's just a great space. It really is, and they've upgraded it with lots of with cameras and lots of lighting. It really is a cool space. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Jimmy from Loopfest, an event that I have had an affinity with for a few years. I always see Loopfest as a bit of an adventure. I always turn up with microphones ready to walk miles and find guests to speak to. I always put a lot of work into organise interviews with the guests beforehand, booking in time slots. And this year, Loopfest, it is proving to be a bigger event than ever. So I'm really looking forward to speaking to Jimmy about that. We'll also get a debrief on how things went last year. It's going to be a good time. I feel like Loopfest, by the way, is just like, it's different to any event I've seen. I mean, I've covered festivals all over Shropshire, and I'm very, very fond of anybody that has the big kahunas that are needed to put on an event on this scale of, Shropshire festivals or food festivals, music events like this, because it takes a lot of work. But Loopfest, it offers a lot of kinetic energy, lots of people moving around the town, increasing footfall, making use of pubs, events, venues. So that's why I love it so much. And I know that there have been events in the past similar to it. We had the Big Busk a few years ago. Lots of similar events. I think in Wrexham, we used to have Red Eye Nights. They were like events that would take over Bellevue Park in Wrexham. These events exist, but I think Loopfest has stood the test of time, and it offers a great community vibe. So, yes, we're going to be interviewing Jimmy. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our preview for Loopfest 2026.
My lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed, ignored my hunches. I focused on the wrongs of the baby, you are the change now. Let them talk, took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed.
Here we are at Shropshire Business Suite, I mentioned in the intro, and joining me on the Shrewsbury Biscuit today is Jimmy from Loopfest. How are you, Jimmy? You good?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
He's like, hey, I'm good.
Surprisingly.
Surprised on you got a smile on your face. You just sprinted through town. Family's family. We got to deal with these things.
Yeah, and also, coming here, I was hoping that I'd have enough time to catch my breath because I didn't want to sound like some sort of dodgy.
I did it the other end. I came up the cop. So I parked in Bellevue and walked in because not only is it free, it is actually a nice walk. So make the most of that. Now I mentioned in the intro that I recorded before you got here that Loopfest is something that I've had an affinity with since, not from the beginning. I think it was like the second year. Was it the second year? I don't know, but very early on, I've really enjoyed this event. And I've been out and about, always seen it as a bit of an adventure. I complain about carrying my equipment from venue to venue to interview people, but I absolutely live for it. I think it's a brilliant event to do that with.
It's incredible. The best thing about it is the discovery, I think, and I hope that more people try to discover the town now that we've got an app, because we've got an app, you see.
Oh,
and so it gives people an easier way to plan their day, but also I'm hoping that people will go, oh, I didn't know this venue existed, or wow, what's this place? And I think in the past when you got in a program, people just default to the safe place.
Yeah. I know lots of people come into Shrewsbury for Loopfest. I mean, I've interviewed people from Manchester and all sorts that have come in. There was a couple I interviewed a couple of years ago. They were fantastic. And they were like, we were just coming into town, and then we just happened to find that there was a festival on this weekend, and they had the best weekend. They were a bit like worse for wear because I think it was a day two.
It's the best, isn't it? I mean, just you go into a town and you're like, whoa. We went on holiday recently, and they had the Carnivale, which is big festivities, and there's a battle of all these different Canary Island bands, and we're like, whoa, this is really great. Huge bands playing Spanish music. It was incredible.
Amazing. Let's recap though. Loopfest. Where does the idea come from originally for you? I mean, I know we've probably covered this on a podcast before.
Well, I guess because I lived in Barnsley in South Yorkshire for a long time, and there was an event which still exists, slightly different, called Tramlines. And Tramlines covered the whole town, and there's all sorts of venues, and then they had a big space where they had all the bigger artists. Then they had sort of smaller emerging artists in lots of different venues, and so I kind of felt, oh, it'd be great to do something like this in Shrewsbury. It was originally, the plan was to do it in Bishop's Castle, and have...
Bishop's
yeah, because I thought it'd be great having a grand piano at the sawmill and having weird performances and maybe playing Little Mermaid at the swim baths and people sitting in rubber rings watching it.
What do they call it in America when they do the bands in the barn and the knee slapping? That's what I think of. Sorry, Bishop's Castle, but it's out of the way.
But it was, I thought, wow, it is now out of the way, but it's also quite artistic. And
I love the idea of bringing something like that to a small town, though.
Yeah,
it's completely take it over,
change it, and then we started building Loopfest in Shrewsbury as a result of. I think we started trying to do this flood fest, which was like there's a big flood, and we thought let's try and do something to support all these businesses that had been affected by the flood. And then COVID came straight afterwards. So then it killed that. But then we were like, let's rebuild this idea. So we decided to look at doing a Loopfest type event. And we had 2 months to deliver it. So we started from scratch, from nothing. And in 2 months, we managed to deliver the first Loopfest, which I think was 17 venues and 70 acts, something like that.
Yeah, but unexpectedly, you kind of it caused this mass movement of people through the town from venue to venue. And this is the one thing I always talk about with Loopfest is you can see people that are going from band to band, from venue to venue. And when I was for the listeners that don't know, what I would do is normally I have my H6 microphone, loads of batteries, spare microphones, mic stands, whatever I think I might need, and I'd start at one venue and I'd go to another, and what I'd do is I'd speak to the bands a week before and be like, I'll be at this place by 2:00 when you're performing and we're doing an interview. And that's how I'd do it. But I would see the same people following me through the route, and I'd be like, oh, I saw you at the Slopian, or I saw you over there, and they'd be like, yeah, we're here for Vinnie White, we're going to listen to him now. And I was like, okay, it's just amazing how you see people moving around like that.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? And I think it's really cool when you fall on things that you don't expect in terms of the artists. If you stay there a bit longer maybe and just have a drink, and then suddenly something else pops up and you're like, whoa. So yeah, I kind of I think I'm a planner, but I do think a lot of people just go with the wind.
Yeah, I love watching you work, Jimmy, because I remember chatting to the Shirish Rovers about you last year, and I was like, have you seen Jimmy? He's about here somewhere. And you just appeared on the steps. And I was like, he's here. And you had posters and stuff in your back, and you're like, oh, I need this over here. I got passes for people. And I grabbed you with a microphone, and you were like, yeah. Because you were just in between venues, doing your thing. You were everywhere during that event.
Yeah, and there's sometimes I got quite stuck, so I'd be like, I need to get to this place and this place. So I'd cross the road out by St Mary's, and then I'd be like, oh no, I should go that place first. So I'd cross the road back. And after about 5-10 minutes, I realized I was just stuck. And I was like, I just need to do one of these things. So I found a volunteer steward, and then they helped me take some of the work.
Are you not very good at delegating? Are you good at delegating, but you feel like you need to do the job because you need to do it properly? How's that work in your head?
I think it's just that we've organically developed this event without really working out the event planning on the event day. So it's all planned out beforehand. But then
meticulously, by the way, there's meetings and all sorts.
Oh, it's pretty wild. And I think it's got 250 acts this year. Then the number of times I've inputted or done extra things, 250 individual inputs was probably about 20 times.
Yeah.
So you think how much time that takes. But when it comes to the event itself, I haven't managed to pass the information on as well as I could have done.
Yeah.
So the team was didn't really know what's coming next. Whereas this year is going to be completely different because we've got loads of people on the ground who are all experienced. All of our team have done.
Is that because somebody's gone, eventually we're going to kill Jimmy? He'll just be Sparko on the floor.
I think, I think it's just very hard when you don't understand how it's going to look. 2025 and 2026 are very similar.
Yeah.
So we've forged that path. And every year we've expanded. And I can't really see the festival going to change really from what it is now? Obviously, we've expanded. We've doubled the capacity, but we've introduced the Quarry. So it's a big venue.
Which is something you've been going after for a while. This is a big get for you, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes the festival viable, to be honest. And it helps the wider project. And then we've got the Theatre 7. And we've got lots more of our little venues that we're involved in this year. Some cafes. And we've got the Darwin Community Centre, which is going to be a DJ spot. And then we've got our own venue. We've actually taken over a venue.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we've decided to...
I'll pretend like we haven't just been talking about this in the hallway.
Well,
you've got a what now?
Well, I was going to talk to you about it, but we're in the hallway and we started chatting about it, didn't we? But yeah, I mean, it's pretty mad. It's going to be a 2-floor music venue, which is going to be upstairs, got one stage, downstairs another stage, and it'll be rotating bands the whole day long. So I think we've got 30 artists to play in that one venue.
Wow. I remember when I lived in Wrexham, there was a place that opened up a venue very much like this. I mean, like when I grew up in Wrexham, it was very much like club, bar, club. If that's just the kind of town it is, right? But they opened up a bar that would play like Arctic Monkeys and the Fratellis and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, like this is a band that I can absolutely, a bar that I can absolutely vibe with. There's a place in Wolverhampton as well. It's like a goth pub that we play. Yeah. I've forgotten what it's called. I've forgotten what it's called, but like they play things like that as well. And I mean, you gravitate towards that if that's the kind of music you enjoy. Do you know what I mean? We don't have enough of that. We've got the York.
York's great. Yeah, like I think we're in Shropshire, and anything that's niche doesn't necessarily get as much support as it could do. So what we're thinking about is that we want to have a community of people. So it's a community venue. That's the most important bit.
Sure.
So we want people to come in and bring ideas, and we have to run it commercially because it needs to cover the costs. And we want to do what we need to do, which is all the video production stuff and supporting all the artists. But who's to say that we can't use the profits from Loopfest Festival to then allow us to create far more abstract programming that allows all these people who are into niche music to experience that in their hometown?
I think to have a regular place, I mean, I know we've got a shed and we've got loads of places that do value.
XY gigs and and then one hand clapping
XY
as well.
gigs, man, they're doing it. What's that again?
One hand clapping.
One hand clapping. Oh yes, they play. Do they play at the?
It's an event. They run like events down at the English Bridge Studios.
Yeah.
So that, there's these guys who are doing that stuff, and but there's more niche than that. There's loads of different sort of elements that could be brought out, and we want to just say, look, we've got the money to be able to support putting on events, and also if people want to do charitable events, and we'll have all the setup so they can charge on the door, collect that money for charity. We take the bar to cover our costs, and people can make a lot of money for local charities. So
I feel like I mean, we can definitely collaborate with this, but what I'm thinking now is like, because Shropshire Business Suite is amazing, by the way, and there is actually space out here for me to do this. But I was thinking, like, why couldn't I do like live podcast events, like an evening with Joe Hart or something like that, where I just sit and speak to someone like that, or let's get Greg Davis in. Do you know what I mean? Like the people, some Salopian favourites that can come on. You can charge a few quid on the door, make some money for charity, and I get a great podcast out of it.
I think it'd be great. And I think the hard part is that people who want to put events on, especially younger people, there's a lot of barriers, in terms of costs, because you've got higher costs. It's a risk, isn't it? So we want to try and help people develop into promoters and help people who've never had experience in putting events on, but have a good idea to develop this. And we're working with the college, so it gives the college students opportunities as well to get real world experience. I think
Loopfest actually we could do, because we talked about this last year, but never put into place though, because I'm you're kinetic, I'm chaotic. I'm just like, I'm kind of like, yeah, we'll have this, we'll do this thing, and we'll do this thing, and then I'm on to the next thing. I forgot what I said about 5 minutes ago. But I feel like we talked about like bringing someone, like a young co-host from the college, to get involved with the Biscuit during Loopfest, to help produce, to help co-host. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I've got loads of students who'd be up for that as well.
Yeah.
I've got a whole list of them. Like, I think there's probably 30 to 40 students who are involved in helping the production of Loopfest. And some people are just taking minor roles, and other people can get what they want out of it. If they contact me and say, look, I'm on the music tech course and I want to do this, we're open to ideas, basically. We are.
Okay, that sounds really good. Right, let's debrief last year. Last year was it was a good event. There's so much going on, and I remember you saying there was going to be big robots and there's going to be all sorts going on, and it was a massive event. How was last year's event for you?
Last year, it seems so long away.
I know we were supposed to do this like 2 months after the thing, and like I said, we get busy, don't we? I was like, let's do a debrief, and you're like, yes, and then that was it. We didn't do it.
I think let's have a think about it. So yeah, it was mega. It was a big event. We turned a profit, which is brilliant because we'd traditionally not made any money, which none of us get paid, but it's nice to start with money, which has allowed us to build the event up for this year. There was so many incredible artists. And we kept on pushing in terms of how we present the event. I think realistically, we broke footfall again, and it's like 15,000 extra footfall per day. So I think that's probably about 10,000 people extra per day. And the Sunday particularly, we had this plan, right? Let's bring back bank holiday Sundays, because they seem to have dropped off the world, didn't they? We used to be so busy on a bank holiday Sunday.
Because it's an extra night to have a few beers and stay up late.
That's it. Yeah, I think people just nest down and just maybe think, oh, it's just a Sunday, we'll have a bit of rest. But we're like, come on, man, let's have like a big party in this town. So yeah, that's where we're at. And I thought we've managed to make Sundays work. They were almost as busy as the Saturday. Yeah,
it was bouncing. Absolutely bouncing. You couldn't move through town for the whole 2 days. The weather was kind of on your side as well. It was beautiful, if I remember rightly.
Oh, it was great, yeah. And, this is in the face of the fact that there's no bus service on a Sunday. I was like, there's no bus service. Yeah, apparently there's no bus service. The park and ride's closed. And we tried to make connections about bringing extra buses or running extra buses in town, and we'd love to do that. But it's just like, I feel like I want to make sure that everybody's looked after. And so if we put bus routes from one place and then someone's like, oh, but there's no bus from my place. I'm like, oh, so I feel bad about it. So I decided just to park it, because I thought, well, if you can't look after everybody, maybe that we shouldn't do that bus thing. But what's great is we've introduced extra train journeys. So I
know that other festivals have used the Sabrina boat taxi thing from the Westminster Showground, but then you'd have to pay to use the parking in the Westminster Showground. Do you know what I mean? It's like it just adds an extra expense onto it, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, we did want to introduce parking at the Westminster, but that didn't work out this year. However, we are trying to bring more people on our train, so we're looking at extending services across into Wales. So because they normally finish at 9:30, and we were like, it'd be great to get the Aberystwyth train that finishes at 10:30, and it's looking like that's going to happen, as long as the system.
But that's really good though, because what that does is it gives people the opportunity to get an Airbnb in Wem or Market Drayton or somewhere that's on the outskirts, and then you can kind of get the train, get as many acts as you can on Loopfest, and then stumble onto the train afterwards.
Oh yeah, no,
fall into your Airbnb or your
hotel. Super, yeah, because town centre gets expensive now for hotels.
I mean, it's more about the availability as well. You know what I mean? On an event like that, it's whether you can get a hotel, but it's just easier to include more people from the area, from the county, and further again, Birmingham, Wrexham, wherever you want to go from. If you use those facilities available to you, then more people can come in.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, and Transport for Wales have been excellent, because they're even introducing a special ticket, which means that you decide when you're coming in, what time you're going to come into town, but you don't have to decide what time you're going to leave. So usually that means that the ticket's more expensive. But so it's basically a discounted ticket. So I was like, wow, I can't believe that we're getting extra services, we're getting multiple extra carriages, and they're giving us discounts on their train tickets. It's nuts.
Yeah, it seems like you thought of everything. Is there anything that you learned from last year that you definitely got to implement this year? Maybe sort of challenges you faced, more of contingencies you didn't have that you're going to have this year? How does that look?
Well, so back to that, what I was saying before, the team, I basically spread our team far too thin. There's a core team of people, plus then volunteers who are all great and really, really helpful and do an amazing job. But, they don't really get to see any of the event because they're just so busy, running around or making we have to move equipment from one place to the next, and it's very hard for people to do that all day after doing the build and break as well. So we've got different teams doing different jobs basically, and it means that all of the volunteers who are involved in the core planning they were able to experience more of the event. And also it means that we're not knackering people out, because people are doing this in their spare time, right? So they're going working, and then they finish work, and then they're doing the Loopfest build, and they're doing Loopfest event, and they're doing the tear down, and then they're back to work. You know, that means they're probably not having any time off for 2 or 3 weeks.
That means less jumping into dumpsters to squish pizza boxes for you.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the other thing. So never again full pizzas. We've got pizza by the slice. We've got some great food traders this year at the quarry. So because we've got the quarry, it gives us more space. So we've got 5 food traders, and they're all like, you know, Digbeth dining level like food traders. And it's going to be super tasty, all this different food. But there's not pizza by the box. It's pizza by the slice, because then, you know.
That caused chaos, didn't it?
Oh, no.
They were beautiful pizzas, by the way. They're just logistically.
Oh, yeah, it's just the boxes. I mean, we had lots of bins there. And they were all full of these pizza boxes. So I was like, right, you know.
In my goes.
Yeah.
So the dynamic, so it looks completely different with the quarry this year, because you still got the castle?
We've still got the castle, yeah.
You got the castle and the quarry.
And St. Mary's Church.
That's insane. That is insane, like, amount of space you've got to use.
Oh, yeah, I know. The capacity across the whole town, it's like about 6,000 now. We doubled the capacity by having the quarry. And so the way it works is last year we had lots of events on the Friday. So there was like, that's one of the things that's changed. So we had something at Buttermarket, was awesome, a drum and bass thing. And then we had something at St. Mary's Church, Chris Hawkins doing with everything. And then we had something at Albert Shed, and we had something at the castle. Now, we just simplified that, and it's just we're having a big event on the Friday at the quarry. And that's with Ash, Reef, the Blue Tones, and Jess Silk.
Which I hope I can come to and get some interviews. I mean, Ash, oh my God, do you know what? I remember like sitting back. I know you say it might be difficult to get the interview, but we can try, right?
Yeah, try, yeah.
We can try. I remember sitting watching Q. Not FHM. What was the other one? There was Q, Kerrang.
What's these channels?
There was the other one as well. I was going to say FHM, but that was a City Mag. But the other music one. Anyway, just in case it drives any of you crazy, the channel I was talking about was NME. It was a music channel based off the magazine, and they would play a lot of independent music. It was a great channel back in the day, NME. I used to sit and watch those music channels, and Ash would come on, and oh my God, that was like my youth, man.
Was it P-Rock or something like that? Was that one? Was there one called P-Rock?
What's the music magazine that had a radio show?
What's
TV channel?
Oh,
it was Initials. I can't remember. Oh my God, somebody would be like, but yeah, that was my youth, man. We were talking about the other day. I was talking with Dawn Williams on the podcast about Sophie Ellis-Bextor, because she went on a podcast to talk about her cancer survival. And I was like, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, man, she was like one of my first crushes. Do you know what I mean? It's mad how music can take us back to these.
Oh yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? And you know, it's nostalgia, but also they're still releasing records, both them bands. So, and particularly Ash, they've just done a album tour for the Ad Astra album that just came out last year.
I'm gonna have to get onto that, because I feel like there are certain bands that they get better. I think who are a perfect example of getting better. Supergrass have got better with age, I think, over years.
Oh yeah,
they play better live now than they ever have.
Music's great though, isn't it? I mean, you know, it is good music, to be fair. It's like it's got, I think the best music is the stuff that sort of surprises you a bit each time. You know, there's not an obvious boilerplate of song that the artist does. It feels like, it's like, oh wow, these guys are just pushing it just a bit. You know? I
think Weezer are great. I always talk about Weezer because I don't think they've ever released a bad album. They're all good. Even the news. They released an album for every single season. Was it 2024? An album for every single season they did.
Really? Wow.
It was insane. Like, they did a summer album. Spring. I know how seasons go. They did this in school. Anyway, you know what I mean?
But they, I read about that guy. What's he called?
Rivers Cuomo. Yeah.
And so apparently he's really obsessive with different aspects, and so he's even like analysed all of his songs in terms of which ones were the best for the way chords progress and move, and actually like looking and studying movement. I think he did the same for all Nirvana's tracks.
He's a professor of music.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think he's a qualified like music teacher, but on a big scale.
So he loves just breaking things apart and trying to work out how.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, my head doesn't work in that sort of sphere. When I write music with our band, Mighty Vipers.
Oh, I hope they're coming to Loopfest, by the way.
Oh yeah, they're playing on the Quarry stage.
Yeah. I wonder where we can play.
Well, you know, the thing is, I've made a day where 2 days of very much party music there, and it's kind of hard, isn't it? Because defined party. Now, we didn't want to make it sort of super pop because that's not really what we do. You know, so we've got one day which is like quite dubby reggae sort of party vibe. So it's like this Gentleman's Dub Club, the Skins, and then we've got some emerging artists as well playing on that day. And then on the Sunday there we've got Henge, who's just a great party band, and we've got Elvana, great party band. So it's just really good, fun, inclusive music really that's there, because you know, if it was super rock heavy, some people are not into that. This is just music you can just bob and dance around to all day long.
Elvana are massive though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're huge. I mean,
massive. They play like the big stage at Glastonbury, don't they?
And they're the big, basically if you look at all the O2 academies and the artists that sell out the quickest, you know, Elvana are up there with the, you know, in their bigger venues, like 3,000 caps.
If you don't know what Elvana is, it's literally an Elvis Nirvana hybrid band. They just do amazing party, great vibe music.
I think it's, you know, it's somewhere close to tribute, but it's not really, because it's, you know, a tribute to me is almost trying to be one thing, whereas these guys are just mashing things together.
Fusion, music fusion on an industrial level, because like, no, and it doesn't make sense either to have Nirvana and Elvis Presley. I mean, they have all bands to come together.
That's crazy, and yeah, so they mix up the tunes, and go check them out online, because they are just. I think you've got to really see a video of them to really discover how wild it is. It's, you know, they're playing massive like festival stages, isn't there?
Are there any bands in this that you think, I can't believe I've got them?
Oh, it's quite a lot. I mean, what you don't see behind the scenes is the anguish that goes along with, you know, you contact an agent and, you know, they're not necessarily going, wow, let's go to that Loopfest place and put artists there, because ultimately we're not that big yet. You know, we're getting bigger and it's a great event, and, you know, what, 6,000 people will arrive, but nobody's heard of us really beyond the West Mids, apart from, you know, like I think, you know, sort of 20% of the audience comes from beyond, but we're not Green Man level yet. We're going to get there, and we're getting there very quickly. It's just a matter of...
You tried to get too many teas for me. I can't believe you did that.
Oh yeah,
I was like, can you get too many teas for me? Because they are okay. So Too Many Teas, mentioned it a couple of times in the podcast. We went to watch Harry Mack live, he's insane on YouTube. He's a freestyle rapper that we loved, but the show wasn't what you'd get on YouTube. It just didn't feel the same. It was a bit like, I don't know, just very anticlimactic when we got there. But their support, Too Many Teas, absolutely blew everyone away. They're like the UK Beastie Boys. They're insane. And I was like, I love this band, and you tried to get them and couldn't get them, unfortunately. But I
do it for everyone. Like, you know, but you said that. I was like, right, okay, you're going to try them. And then there's a lot of other acts. People were like, oh, I'd love to see these guys there. And I was like, right, okay, let's find out. So, you know, in a way, we are very open to ideas. And it's hard because we're trying to define what we are, which is a multi-genre festival that covers almost everything. But I think when you've got something that somebody suggests, it makes them think like, wow, we're being listened to, and we are listening, and we want to make an event for everybody, you know?
Scribes coming back.
The Scribes are coming back.
Oh, they'll be like besties now.
Yeah, I love them. They're great.
They're brilliant. I was holding up my microphone, and they were like, I think I recorded a little snippet of them rapping about the Shrewsbury Biscuit. So we did the interview, and I was like, I'm going to hold my mic up, and if you don't mention the biscuit, I'm going to beat... I mean, I didn't really say that. But what's... Obviously, we've got the quarry. How are you going to manage the flow of people and not spread it out too thin? Because obviously you've got the quarry one side, the castle one side, and all the venues in between. Yeah,
so we've been really mindful of how this is going to work. So a lot of the smaller venues, there's no cost to them. We're not charging for them events. Their tickets for the rest of the festival are so cheap. I mean, you know, we started doing a day ticket, but the 2-day ticket for both days covering everything in terms of the Saturday and the Sunday, Saturday the 2nd and Sunday the 3rd of May, it's like 40 quid. And they started out lower, and 40 quid's like the final price, which is 40 quid for 2 days entertainment. It's just like, and you know, a lot of these artists, they're 30, 40 pound tickets.
Yeah, and this is what annoys me about people is like, whether it's Loopfest, Food Festival, Ludlow, Shrewsbury, whatever, they complain about the price, but like, you don't understand, like Jimmy just said, like it is literally £10 on the door minimum if you're going to go and watch. I mean, Chase and August are playing at the Shed tonight. I'm going to miss them because I'll be at the castle, but like they'll be charging £10 on the door minimum, probably 15 quid to get in to see them. I don't know how Albert Shed works, probably. I don't know. Maybe.
I think, it might be a little bit cheaper, but you know, you're right. And so there's a lot of mid-level bands who are playing who you would go and see in Birmingham and or another major city, and they'd be like 15 quid tickets. So I think probably what you're getting is a £200 ticket festival for 40 quid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, and if you include the Friday shows.
And it's a good vibe as well. It's such a good vibe. I can't stress enough how good this festival makes people feel.
And it's not just the Quarry as well, right? It's like kind of like, so we've planned everything so people can even have a day off if they want. So the Elvana Sunday event sort of ties together with the Friday event. So if you're a bit tired after the Ash show, then you can have the day off, and then you've still got an amazing show on the Sunday. Now, when you look at the pop elements, so we've got a sort of pop, hip-hop element, which is mostly at St. Mary's Church. So that's like a lot sort of indie pop stuff and then later on it gets to the hip-hoppy sort of side of things. We've got like Ian Prowse there. It's like, who's more indie leaning. And then DJ Yoda on the Sunday, which is like, DJ Yoda is legend. And then at the Castle, wow, the Castle's an incredible place because that is a lot of like indie rock going on there, and Melon, sort of more out there psych, Super Furry Animal Styles.
I love the thing I love the most about this event is the opportunity to find new music. You don't even need to like know who the band are. You can turn up and fall in love with music as it happens live before you, and that is the beauty of this festival. You just take a chance on something.
Oh yeah, no. And the thing is, there's a lot of great local artists as well, which we haven't really talked about yet. And so putting some of them local artists on them big stages, and then also a lot of free entry events. So there's lots of people who come into town and they don't necessarily buy a ticket. Now we say buy a ticket, please, because we're using the money from the event to then refund and support local artists, which is why this whole new venue exists. Is because we're funding this venue as a model to then support a local artist to get them further. So when people start moving away out of the town and playing shows further afield, people will go, wow, these guys have got loads of great assets and they're just smashing it. And they'll go, well, where they come from? Oh, Shrewsbury. Then all these other artists will start coming back into Shrewsbury. So it's almost like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in that, we're supporting everyone. They're going out and then they start coming in. We're going to have loads of great artists coming through because they're going to be saying, well, wow, what's going on in Shropshire,
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. I just love that line, that self-fulfilling prophecy. I love that. That's really great.
Well, it's good. The reality is that's what's going to happen. It's already happening. The train companies are talking to us. A lot more people are looking at the grassroots elements in Shrewsbury.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. What do you think from the very beginning to now are possibly your biggest legacies when it comes to Loopfest? Is there a band that you've brought across? Is there something that is quintessentially Loopfest that is now like when people think about it is what you've brought from the beginning?
I think people just feel that music's more alive in the town. Post-COVID, there's a lot of problems and a lot of things stopped. So I don't feel that any one element. I feel it probably more that it's a cohesive whole, bringing people together. And I hope that people believe in the model and how the model can then, make the town a 365 days a year event space. And obviously there's lots of great events that already happen, but I think we've just helped amplify whatever's going on by a bit more.
Yeah, and I love that you bring people from the big cities, Liverpool, Manchester. These are artists that come in, and you give that big town vibe here in Shrewsbury, and you introduce them to Shrewsbury, and Shrewsbury's been introduced to them. And like you said, it is becoming a fact now that Loopfest is becoming one of those events to play.
Oh yeah, 100%, and that's the other benefit, right? So in the long term, what we're going to be doing is having some sort of industry event at the same time. So we're hoping that management will start coming into the town, because there's a lot of like emerging artists. We have to go through. There's like 10,000 applicants, and I do that manually.
Were you turning bands down left, right, and centre then?
Well, it's 10,000 applicants. Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. I listen to everyone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's crazy, and everything is done manually, and mostly myself. And we get other people who are part of our team who are really great, but you can't say, hey, do you mind just sitting through and listening to 2,000 artists and telling me which ones you like? It's a bit. It kind of ruined my love for music a little bit, but I sort of built up this little protective shield now that allows me to be like, it's like, that's my listening job. And this is how, but when you listen to that many artists and have to basically make decisions based on them artists, it feels really bad. I feel bad about it because I think I want everyone to develop and emerge. But I think probably the hard thing is that, some people are just doing it for a bit of fun, and we try to kind of raise the level of the quality each year, because we want the audiences to be like, wow, this is such an amazing curated event, you know.
I loved the Mighty Vipers. I know it's your band. I'm not trying to kiss your ass or anything, but like, I'd never seen you guys play before, and this is another great part of the thing. You're like, you're turning up. You're about to jump on stage. You look at me like, where's your pass? And I'm like, oh, I haven't been given one yet. You rip open your bag, you give me a pass, you chuck your bag down, you hop on stage and you play an event, and then you bugger off back into the festival. That was really great to see. But like, I'd never seen you guys play before because I've been about everywhere, and it gave me such a warm glow. Honest, genuinely, I like a bit of ska, but like, I really got it. That was the moment I first got it. I totally got it. I was like, oh my God, they're taking these terrible situations and making a happy, energetic song about it. And I thought, oh my God, that's the point.
Yeah, well,
it kind of sunk for me, you know what I mean?
The thing is, the band's been going for 25 years. So in one way or another, a lot of us are really old friends. And so, we keep it going because we just love hanging out with each other. And so I think that kind of passes on to the audience.
I think Dave, I was saying about him, he's like, I think I called him the human personification of the genie from Aladdin. I think that's a great. He's just like, he's so animated the way he moves. Like,
it's them hips. It's all in the hips, isn't it?
All in the hips.
But yeah, I mean, you know, there is definitely a vein of ska and reggae that sort of flows through Loopfest, and I think Shropshire has always had quite a good relationship with that music. And so there is lots of different genres in Loopfest, and we encourage lots. You know, we want to build it out. We'd love to have like jazz. We got some musical theatre this year.
Have you?
Yeah. So in the square, so we're doing a bunch of different stuff in the square this year. So getting a lot more of the Shropshire organisations to get involved as well, because we want to push them, right? We want to push their message.
Yeah. So like, get your wiggle on, curtain call, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we've still got a way to go with some of them guys, but you know, I think the problem is that I'm so busy that I can't really find the time to sit down and go, right, like, this is the full list, and, you know, try and have a meeting, because everybody's invited. It's just a matter of how we can make it work for them.
Sounds like you need a talent agent. I mean, what if only there was a guy that's, you know, been interviewing talent for, you know, 8 years, or all from people around the world, maybe. I don't know.
It's funny because he's a connector, isn't he, this guy that we're talking about? But yeah, so Alex is a massive connector. Yeah. And so the place we're here at the moment, this is the
Shropshire Business Suite.
The Shropshire Business Suite. So Alex has made contact with these guys, and this is going to be our box office. So when you get your ticket for Loopfest, you'll then come down to the box office, exchange the QR code for a wristband, and that's how you get your wristband this year. So in the past, we've had lots of different places. You can still pick up tickets elsewhere, but this is going to be the main hub for where you pick up a ticket. For artists, it's different. We've got and the VIPs and yourself. You go up to the Hobbs room at the library, the Shrewsbury Library, because then we've got a team there who's dedicated to supporting the artists. So I think that's where we're working better, is that we've worked out how to...
I think I had really grand ideas for last year's Loopfest. I was like, we could do a Loopfest TV, and we can get... Because I'm used to like utilising things online to be able to turn it into almost a TV channel, but I was like, that's just too much. Like, I really would love to have, like, you know, like how like Channel 4 would sit in those bales of hay. Like, oh yeah, we've got will.i.am with us here. Oh my God. And in the background, we've got to, I'd love to do something like that. But like, in theory, I kind of like being out in the trenches for Loopfest. I kind of like that. And if I was going to bring a young co-host or something along with me, I'd worry for them, because it's quite an ordeal. I mean, it'd be great, but...
Oh, it's brutal. I mean, you got to look at it this way, is that even though at the time it feels like that time's going really slow, there's 2 days. 2 days of entertainment. That's it. So basically, over them 2 days, they go really quick, and suddenly you missed it. So sometimes it feels like, and it's so big that it's really easy to miss stuff. I mean, you know, you kind of think about Glastonbury, that's huge, right? But like Loopfest's really tiny in comparison. But it's still a lot of things going on. And it's, you know, just being down the road, you can miss so much. And you're like, someone says, oh, this great thing happens here. And you're like, oh God, I wish I was there for that. But, you know, that's how it is.
Great connections as well. I'll never forget the day. It was like a day at the castle where it had been raining. I think I remember hiding on the side of the stage to protect my mics. This was 2 years ago, I think.
And then the monsoon.
It was the monsoon, and I was hiding under the side of the stage. I was like, I need to keep my mic here, otherwise it's going to die. And then the sun came out, and it was like beating down on us. Oh, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, because I took a tripod. I thought, I'm going to use a tripod. Have you ever tried setting up a tripod in the bull when it's like wall to wall people? It's not going to happen. Anyway, I was struggling with all my equipment, and Neville Street and Derek, they picked me up and they were like, come on, pick me up. They picked me up and they were like, let's go. We'll help you. They carried my tripod. We went to the bull. We watched I can't remember the band we watched, but they were amazing. They bought me a pint and they were like, all right, we're going to go to Dough and Oil. We had some pizza in between events. I went to chuck 20 quid in the ticket. They're like, no. I was like, oh my God, you guys.
Yeah, they're great people, man.
And Neville, from that moment on, has been an amazing source of like, because obviously you got the drama company, he's got the band Post that he had last year.
The PR side of things, and he's, the band Post, and he's just so... He's so talented, and he's just a proper lovely chap. He's a local legend, really. There's quite a few of them. Beth McGowan's another one. She's great from the college. Oh yes, just
I need to do something with the college. Shout out to the college groups.
The comedy festival as well does Beth.
Yeah. Yes, she does. Of course. Yeah. Because Neville's like, I'm taking a step back this year, which is great. If he needs that time,
Yeah, it's hard. Running events is not easy. I mean, that's the thing that people don't realize. There's a lot of stress. Even the volunteers, they're going through a lot of stress, and we do this because we love it, right? I think that's the key thing. Is that the more we can support these local events run by local people. Sounds like weird, but there's a lot of organisations that come into the area who are not from the area, and so they're taking the money and taking it away. But these local events, like the comedy festival, they're really incredible events, and the money is staying in the town. Local techs. And
I've talked an awful lot about how grassroots brands kind of help the local economy and keep things flowing. Pubs, clubs, drinks, food, whatever it is. If somebody's out there to watch a band in town, they're going to go and buy a few beers. They're going to go get some food afterwards.
1.5 million, I think we calculated. And probably this year, Loopfest 2026, we're probably going to be adding an extra 3 million plus into the local economy, which is great. And you've got to remember as well, we're organising this event, and the whole point of organising the event is to then make money, to then put money back in to local artists. And
you don't have to justify that. I feel like the event itself deserves that recognition. You deserve to be able to put something back into it. Like you charge. I know that you started off as a free event, but like you now getting to a point where you're being seen to grow with this thing. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like you haven't brought Ash and you didn't bring Beardy Man, and you did all these amazing acts that you've brought on, Goldie looking shit. Like, people have seen the progress. So like, it's justified there. That's it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? It's but I'm really excited about this venue, the Loop venue, which is going to be called Loop. I think we come up with it today. We went through so many different names.
It's a good name for something that's near the train station. That's really good. I like that. It's in the Loop. It's by a Loop. It's perfect, and it's presenting. Yeah.
We had loads of different names. It's got so frustrating because we just go onto the WhatsApp chat and it's just like 400 new messages. Everyone's like, no more of this. Can someone just make a decision? So I think it was Katie Romney was just like, she chimed in the first time that I even said to Jules, my partner, I was like, I can't believe that Katie's message there. I didn't even know she was actually on the chat. So, she's a bystander. Anyway, so but she was just, why don't you just call it Loop? And I was just like, oh yeah. And everyone was like, oh yeah. So we just went with that.
Loop.
Just Loop, yeah.
I know the place you're on about now, and of course you got the biscuit support whenever you open, whenever you got things on.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you.
Because I think I feel very strongly about what you guys are doing, because it's nice seeing a grassroots small band getting super excited because they're about to go on a big stage in front of all these people.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's what you're going to offer with that.
Oh yeah. I mean, the opportunities here, the fact that we're going to be doing all this video productions. So we got an Arts Council grant, and I've been sitting on it waiting until we get a premises. Now we've got a premises. We're going to have these cameras set up with switches. We're going to do all this KEXP Tiny Desk kind of live video performances. It's going to be incredible for these artists because, there's a lot of small acts who might not end up even taking their stuff to the studio, and it's a shame for that stuff to be lost. And so, in a way, we're becoming archivists. Is that how you say the word? Archivist?
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Archivist?
A music library.
Yeah, that's better.
I think that's really important. And so, thank you for doing that for local musicians and artists. What are the things this year when it comes to the music side that's going to be different from last year? I mean, I know you said you're going to, expand the genres a little bit more. I mean, what other genres of music now that you appreciate more from doing Loopfest than you did before?
Oh, yeah. I think the thing that I'm missing and I love is this really weird, this festival, Arctangent. Have you heard of that festival? It's like somewhere down south. But it's like metal mixed with like math rock or something, and then like, all sorts of weird classical. It's just really eclectic in what they put out, but it's curated.
Almost like Norwegian rock where they like dun, 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 and they have the violin
Viking,
in the background.
like,
Viking
chants.
music.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. We're missing all that. But what we do have is pretty much anything else you can imagine. We've gone from we've got the hip hop, we've got the R&B, we've got DJs and rock, pop, alt, metal. There's a lot of different genres in there, and I think probably the folk is the one that we've expanded a bit on.
Yeah.
So we got Scott Dunican, who's playing at the Theatre 7. Now, Theatre 7, we've made it very folky country because we thought, well, it's the right kind of place for that, and it'll just have a really nice, like, sort of alternative spin because we're trying to cater for more people because we want the whole town to be involved and come out to it. I think also important that there's enough like children's entertainment. It's not necessarily fully kids stuff, but the music's very accessible, and it's super affordable for people with their kids to come. It's like £6 for a ticket for under 14. So 14 and over, it's the normal ticket price, but under 14. So it's really good. If you've got young children, you can expose them to all this like great music.
Wow. I mean, my new job is going to make it easy for me to get involved because I'll be 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, which means on the Friday I can be back in the evening, which is great. And then I've got the whole weekend. Oh, I'm so excited. Really, it's just a Monday, isn't it? I mean,
that's great. So when do you start that?
I don't know. Soon. Soon. Very, very, very soon, hopefully. I don't know, but it's just going to change my whole life in a way that I can produce content regularly without having to like squeeze in days.
It's hard, and you've got a young family and that, haven't you? So
yeah. And I've been, to be fair, I'm coming out of a bit of a rut, to be honest. The Biscuit, I think what happens is I don't even burn out. I think it becomes very samey for a little bit, but at the moment I've been like firing on all cylinders. Yesterday I sat in House Coffee in Colham, and I edited 2 full episodes, uploaded them, scheduled them for the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
Did 3 reels and 4 bits of artwork, scheduled in 3 podcasts, all in about 3 hours.
On it.
I was on it, yeah, absolutely.
It's nice when you have them bursts, isn't it? And then, like you said, it can feel like a slog, but ultimately, you're doing a really great thing, and I think that's the point, right? All of these, it's effort, right? No matter what, to get somewhere, people, these influencers or whatever, just make it sort of look fake because there's about 10 people in the team to make these reels, that people are watching all the time and millions of views. They've got whole teams behind them. When it's the grassroots level, there's 1 or 2 people or, like a small volunteer team who are all, grafting really hard to make things work in their spare time.
I just want to give Lucy Cadell a shout out. This is really random. But we're talking about the good things that I'm doing with the podcast. There are lots of people making podcasts in Shrewsbury right now. Jim Hawkins is doing a podcast. 7 Video are doing their own podcast with the amazing Sean Brennan, Todd. And Lucy Cadell is doing an art podcast too. There's the Shrimp That Talks podcast. I don't ever see these things as competition. I encourage this so much. If you've got a podcast to make and create, bloody do it. I think it's so important to be able to do that. I want to give a shout out to Lucy Cadell's up-and-coming podcast, which is the Art Shrew podcast. And Lucy messaged me because I saw her at school the other day. There was a performance we went to watch. And she was like, I hope you don't mind I've done the podcast. I was like, what? I was like, I'll offer my support. If you want help with it, I'll help you make it. I'll make it as good as it can be. Because I feel like there's 16 billion ears on the planet. You know what I mean? It's more than enough ears for a podcast. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, right? And if you can work together, there's loads of different event companies and there's loads of different podcasts to click around. And it's about supporting each other in that ecosystem. I think that's really good because then, you're not in a silo then when I can imagine that it probably feels that you are on your own a lot of the time. And that's why I have this team for the volunteers because I don't want to be just a person, just plug it away. I mean, but props to you guys. Like, you work really hard and there's a lot of,
oh, thank you.
Solo time.
I do appreciate it. So let's talk about the new software that's coming with this year's event. You got a new app, you say?
We got an app, yeah. Oh,
Where'd that come from?
Oh, yeah, it was just like, pyong. We've talked about the app for years, though, right? And I thought at some point we've got to release an app, right? So it helps people navigate around the town. It gives people the opportunity to discover the artists beforehand. They can plan it in. They can choose, I want to look by genre, so we put a genre scoop in there, so you can be like, right, these are all the artists that are into ska and reggae or alt rock or whatever. So a lot easier then to hone in your tastes, and then it saves it in a Clash Finder. It's just going to make people's experience so much different. We've got the program landing today as well, so we've still got 12,000 programs which have been printed, and then arriving in the next hour. Which is why I keep looking at my phone, waiting for the delivery guy. I've got to run across town and then get this whole big pallet of boxes and get them into. I
know that you and Jules are like a team when it comes to this, but do you guys ever switch off? Or Jules have we're having a day off for Loopfest today. How is that for you?
It's hard. Probably the only time that happens is when I'm sort of chilling out with my son Ruben, because you've got to be engaged in the play with a young person.
Absolutely, yeah.
So then that's when that happens. But Jules picks up a lot of the slack. Really, I'm without her, it would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I am a nightmare anyway. So
I've been driving cars, my wife crazy all week because I'm like, I'm doing the Traitors at the Castle. I need to be 1940s. I've been around charity shops, all sorts. I've been like 1940s. Not if she hears the word 1940s one more time, because I'm like, I need a suit. I need this. Oh my god, what am I going to do? Like in the Traitors. I don't know if you've ever watched the Traitors. They sit down in that yellow chair and they talk about what they've been doing. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing tonight. So I'll set up a mic stand for them and a mic stand for me. It's like, how's your night going? That's what we're going to be doing tonight. That's amazing for me.
That's great.
And I'm making it like a 1940s newsreel style intro for it. We're at the castle today. All the music. I think that's
really a fanfare with that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
This is I light up when I feel like I'm making these things, because it really does bring me to life. Is it safe to say that Loopfest does that for you? Do you have days when you find this really exciting, or days where it's like, oh my god, I got to do this shit again today?
I think the problem is with running an event is that you get this dopamine hit from finding out about tickets. You're like, oh, just have a look at the tickets. Let's just have a look at the tickets, and it's like, it's kind of unhealthy. And how much time do you waste just looking at this thing that you can't change the needle really, because sometimes it's super exciting. I think a lot of the time, it's just really nice to be involved in being in a project that sort of has a positive impact.
Yeah,
I've worked in a lot of corporate jobs, and you don't really feel like what you're doing has that much of an impact. I feel with certain jobs, it's like you're just part of a cog in the machine. So it's nice to do that, and and other people can be part of the system as well. All they have to do is just join up and volunteer, and we're dead keen for more people to join the team. So if you feel like a cog, come and join us.
It is a nice team to be part of, because I remember we did the rap party afterwards around your house in the garden, and you had a barrel of neck oil in the front. I was like, oh my god, this guy knows me. He absolutely knows me.
It was that's great. That was a benefit. I mean, we're going to have the same problem this year, except we'll have a venue to drink it in, because
oh dear.
Yeah, well, because we've got a lot of barrels of beer being poured, and you get to the end of it and it's still not the end. You've still got some left over, so someone's got to drink it, right?
Yeah. I was happy to oblige. Absolutely. A good community is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah.
What are you like after the fact? This is what I wanted to find out. Like 2 months after the event last time, what's it like the moment the festival finishes for you? Are you like a bouncy castle sort of deflating?
No, we're on to the next one. But actually this year that I'm already on trying to sort out next year's 2027. So I've got a lot of extra bits of project going on. For example, taking on a venue and delivering Loopfest 2026. And also, I'll tell you the next thing in a second. But yeah, so what's it like? Well, it never stops, basically. And then the next bit I was going to say is that we're going to try and apply for a Guinness World Record.
Are you?
Yeah.
For what?
For the most amount of performances in a square mile in 24 hours. So basically, whatever we've got in the plan, if we do get accepted.
So all of those 10,000 bands that have applied this year, do it again next year. I'm gonna need you.
Oh no, we're gonna do it this year. So it'd be. So the plan is
This year.
Yeah, no, yes. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna, if we get accepted, and we're hoping to hear back very soon, then what we'll do is we'll just put on more events in venues and try and just pack it out, because there's already a lot of performances in 24 hours.
Yeah.
But we may as well make it harder for someone to compete against, right?
Yeah. Oh, mate, that's really exciting. I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
I really can't wait. Like, Loopfest for me is like, it's one of those things that just creeps up on you. It's kind of like, Loopfest. Oh my God, you've got to prepare, got to do stuff. I mean, like, one of the best parts for me is sitting at my computer with my phone in my hand, because what I'll do is I'll go, okay, so post, what's this band about? And then I'll go into, and I'll see if they got any stuff on Spotify, or I use YouTube Music, but like, that's the example, equivalent. And then I'll listen to music and I'll go, absolutely. And then I'll message them, hi, I wanted to interview at Loopfest.
Oh, nice.
And I'll sit there for like 2 hours, 3 hours, just booking in bands for like those days. I'll find like 10 bands for the first day and 10 bands for the second day. And that's how I do it. That moment of discovery for me, there's still music in my playlist from last year that I listened to because of that.
Oh, yeah. It's brilliant for that, isn't it? From me doing the research, what I've found I've got into quite a lot is Welsh music. So, yeah, I just really like, there's quite a lot of like great Welsh artists, especially like, it's spoken Welsh as well. And so we started to develop not a massively strong, but quite strong spoken Welsh artist list. So, yeah, I think there's probably about maybe 6, 7, something like that. But we're going to try and incorporate that and make it bigger, because
I mean, we're right on the border. It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, we should be celebrating it, because, English has been, it's bastardized, isn't it? It's like, but Welsh is I think it's a pretty pure language, isn't it? So it's, we should be.
It's an original Celtic language.
Yeah.
I mean, it is beautiful. We're big fans of. I keep mentioning Ren on the podcast because I'm a big fan of Ren at the moment. He's Welsh, but if you got Ren to bloody Loopfest, like you get swamped. I think there'd be too many people.
Oh yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? And that's the hardest bit about the event, right? Is that we've got these capacity limits, and now people can get in, and we're only going to sell enough tickets to cover whatever capacity we have. But we tell people to try and get in early if they want to see a particular act, because whilst we've never had this problem in the past, you never know. And we don't want people to miss out, right? Because
that castle, it fills up quite quickly when a big act comes.
Oh, yeah. And it's, there's a lot of great acts like Panic Shack there, whatever Welsh band. We've got this on the app. We can actually see the most popular artists by people who've saved it. And so there's certain artists you think, oof, actually, this is going to be wildly busy.
What a great way to look at your analytics. That's really incredible. Because you've nearly sold out the Friday night, right? Is that?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So that's big capacity, and but yeah, that's almost sold out. So if you were thinking about getting tickets, just get the tickets, because it will sell out. And then the weekend, we're putting on day tickets as well as the weekend pass. But get them as early as you can, because there's likely that we're going to sell out on them. Really, it's great, and 6,000 people with tickets in town. It's just going to be a wild party.
I'm surprised some big CEO hasn't landed in his helicopter to speak to you and be like, I'd like to buy this event from you, because like it seems to be like this is the breeding of small festivals all across the country now. There's Together Again and All Together, and I think we're going to one of them, the one in Cheshire, which is fun. There's like the Fratellis are going to be there.
Oh, nice.
And stuff like that. So that's great. But like we're seeing this growth of like festivals being made in the country. What does that do for you? I mean, do you see this happening, thinking, oof, like, because you've already got the infrastructure set up for Loop Festival now.
Yeah.
You don't have to start a new festival thing.
Yeah.
You've already got it.
Yeah.
Well, you got there way before them,
Well, I think, a member of the AIF, the Association of Independent Festivals, and they're really great at supporting, there's a lot of stuff that I've gained from them. And also, big shout out to the Folk Festival, Joe from the Folk Festival, really helpful. Is because I am learning this on the fly, and it's hard because you don't know what the protocols are. But Joe at the Folk Festival, she's been amazing.
Yeah, and I feel apologies, Joe, because she did send me she was like an invite to come to the Folk Festival, but I was in Greece at the time, and I was like,
we were working, we were doing interviews actually.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because the agency, one of the main agencies they use. I deal with them as well. And they said, "Oh, do you know anyone who could do any video or like interviews or capture some live performances?" I was like, well, it so happens that, we're pretty good at this sort of side of things. So we went in, got some free tickets or whatever, and I think we recorded and interviewed some like 10 acts, but we had Ruben, our son, with us at the same time. So Jules is really good at interviewing. She's a former journalist at the Express and Star, whatever, but she's just working with us now. And I was having to try and like set the tech up, and then she'd do the interview. Then I would like swap in the child. I think we had Jason and Lisa, but both like great core members of the team. We were also helping with Ruben, just because it's just so hard to like kind of it's a big days. I don't know how you do it.
I love it. I mean, the last time I went to the folk festival was about 2021. The first one after the pandemic, I think it was. And what I was doing is I was going home, having a sandwich, coming back out, getting a few interviews, and going home, getting my dinner, coming back. And I was doing that. And then the evening, I sort of stayed out till like 11:30 and drove back. It was quite cool.
Oh, that's good.
But I live for it. Like,
the end, and like when they have the drinking in the bar at the end, that's just so good. It's like, because there's so people are really joyful to be there, because a lot of them are musicians and they all know each other from each time they go to that festival, and sometimes that's the only time they see each other. And I think that's really cool, and I think that's another great thing about Loopfest. People are, I said that people, are learning about the festival, but actually 20% of the artists, the people, who attend the festival, they're from like London, Cardiff, miles away sort of scenario. And then we have 50% from Shrewsbury and Shropshire area, but then we've got all the West Midlands and Cheshire, and that makes another 20%. So technically, there's a lot of people from beyond who come, and they're making it their annual event. Because it's fun. It's across the town. And it's a pretty town to be in.
It is. And like I said, it's such an amazing way to enjoy the town, is going from bar to bar. If somebody's listening to this and they're like, Loopfest, you ain't good time, shite. How would you win them over? By like, because, we'll end the podcast with a positive little like, come to my festival.
come to my festival.
There you go, done.
I mean, the most important thing is that we're bringing people into the town and supporting the town. And with that, we're bringing loads of incredible artists. We're supporting our local artists. And the money that's been paid, the profits are going back into support and stuff. So it's not just about, hey, let's have a party. It's about, hey, let's have a party and find a new way to support and help other businesses and organisations grow in the town.
And nurture local music.
Oh, yeah, nurture and local. And also, we've got a number of charities we're working with this year. And Arty Party's one, the Food Hub's another.
Yeah, good shout to them.
And Lyngdon Davis is the other one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're also helping charities raise funds by collecting at the festival.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. I didn't know. Well done for that. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's one of the best events for me. Even like the evenings when things sort of dim down a little bit and I can sit back and relax. I know I've got an interview, but I can sit and watch the band for an hour afterwards, and I can have a couple of beers or ciders, whatever. It is one of the best events. I love it. Thank you so much for being as accommodating as you have been over the last couple of years, because like I can come across as a bit of a pest. Like I want to be like, oh, I'm gonna get my microphones in the backstage and stuff like that. But like you've always welcomed me.
You're welcome. We want people to be involved, and we really appreciate what the Biscuit's done for us in terms of promoting and being there. There's a lot of effort and a lot of sweat and tears involved in it.
Yeah,
and props to you, man.
Brilliant. Right, guys, download the Loopfest app. There'll be posters all around Shrewsbury at some point, so you'll not be able to breathe, I think, without seeing those things. But like, get involved, get your tickets in. The wristband. Thank you to the Shropshire Business Suite as well. It's really nice that I spoke to Stu and I was kind of like, Jimmy wants to do this thing, Loopfest. Can you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, Jimmy, yeah, okay, cool, done.
Oh yeah, the connector.
I am the connector, the biscuit guy. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you very much for
very fun.
Yeah, great.
Cool. Cheers. So there we have it. Thank you, Jimmy, for being a great guest, and thank you again to the Shropshire Business Suite for letting us sit and record that day. It was really nice. That place is fantastic to record podcasts. I'm going to try and work something out with Stu so I can come and help out at the studio. So if you do want someone to produce a high quality podcast for you, I've been doing it for a long time. I'd be a guy. It's going to become a lot easier. Loopfest, guys, this event, don't be sleeping on this, okay? If you've always avoided town because Loopfest's on, never taken part, sat on the fence, I ain't paying no ticket price, you're missing out on a hell of a weekend. Honestly, it's one of the best events on the calendar. We're so lucky in Shrewsbury to have so many amazing events. Of course, a huge shout out to the guys from Shropshire Festivals. Those guys do an amazing job. But Loopfest as well. I mean, it deserves that recognition for the hard work that goes into it. I mean, Jimmy mentioned on that episode that you just heard, he's already working on next year. He's already working. It takes that long. It takes that much effort. So, download the app before you even commit to any ticket prices or coming out or organising trips for your mates coming out and whatever. Get the app. It's free to download on Play Store or on wherever you get your apps from Apple. I do Android, but and take a look before you commit. It's going to be a cool weekend. Right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I appreciate every single one of you. And if this is your first time listening to the show, give us a follow on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Doing some cool stuff at the moment. I'm really having some fun out there. You can also check out the website, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. And that's lovingly made for us by our sponsors, Web Orchard. If you go to the Web Orchard and take a look, you'll see they have a wide array of amazing websites they can make for you, whatever it is you do in the world. And, if you do buy a website because you listen to this podcast, just let them know that I sent you. All right, because then I get a hearty high five from the guys there. Brilliant. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you, like I mentioned earlier. Jimmy's a great guy. Take a chance on Loopfest. It is a great event. And next week on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, you have the 1940s report about traitors at the castle. It's going to be fun. I'll catch you lovely lot then. Have a great week. Hope you're all well. Peace out.
I took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed, ignored my hunches. I focused on the wrongs of the baby, you are the change now. Let them talk, let them talk, let them talk. Took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed, ignored my hunches. I focused on the wrongs of the baby, you are the change now.